Um, all right, today's show might be a little short, but we'll see how it plays out. Um, let's see. I'm gonna wait till the 5 minute mark and then I'll start the show. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Um, hope everybody had a great day. I'm a little tired and worn out. I don't know why I'm tired, but I'm tired. Um, yeah, I'm gonna talk about because tomorrow we got a state of play. I think that's the way you say it. State of play is happening tomorrow. We're going to talk about that today, and we talk about a couple of other things. Just see how the show go. And shout out to everybody that support me. I need the support right now more than anything, and I appreciate the developers that take time out to listen to what I have to say. At least y'all do listen to me. Some people really don't listen to me. You could tell in their product. I'm just saying. They could say all day long what somebody know and what somebody don't know. I've been on this earth for a long time. I've been gaming for a long time. I do research. I've been doing research for a long time. So when you act like people don't know something or they can't know something, it makes no sense to me. It's like y'all being lazy and y'all don't want nobody to expose your laziness. I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of things that was being done with this undisputed one is the developers. It's more it has a lot to do with the developer more than the engine or anything. It's the developers. In the beginning version, I think that was a group of guys that was helping make it at that time. They felt that the realistic boxing was the thing to go, the way to go. Then you got other people that didn't have passion about the sport, and they let it go because they didn't care. They let it go, let the game go in the direction was because they kept taking things outside of the game. They kept taking things out of the game, and it left holes. And the holes imploded on itself. And the holes that they constantly kept taking things out of the game, they imploded. It folded over on top of each other. So I know what I'm talking about. Know all the tricks and things that developers try to play with the mind games and stuff. I know a lot of them get mad at me because of my passion, and they some of these developers don't even, they say no, he can't be on the team, or no, we can't bring him in the fold in any kind of way because he's too passionate. He's gonna disagree with our direction. And my thing is with some of these fans that defend these companies, do y'all know what the word options mean? Do y'all know what the word options mean? Everybody should have an option to play the game the way they want to. And modern gaming, even though they had it 30, 40 years ago, you had options back then to play the game the way you want to. And they're worrying about their competitive modes. That's what a contract system is for. The contract system, y'all agree on this, how y'all want to play. I know a lot of people feel like, hey, I ain't got patience to do all that. That's crazy. It shows how lazy some people are. It shows how lazy some people are and how people give the people like that. I'm scared of to be around. They're dangerous because they give up. A person that gives up and give in too fast, they're dangerous to you and themselves. They don't fight. People don't fight for things anymore. People do not fight for things anymore. They don't fight to make things better. They already got their mindset baked into the way they see things, or baked a certain way. They don't think they in their mind they're like, well, we're just gonna be wasting our time. We're complaining. Nothing's gonna change. Enough people say the same thing. Things change. Enough people say the same thing. Things change. Things will change. But a lot of y'all scared to say something. And then y'all get on the people that do say something. All right, 7 minutes went by. Let me read this script and see what happens after that. If I get through this script, that's the end of the show, y'all. Because I don't even want to disrespect myself. All right. This is episode 258. State of Play, Undisputed 2 rumors, and the future of boxing video games. Undisputed 2 is not a rumor anymore. All right. Welcome back to Poe and the Community Speaks. Tomorrow is Sony's State of Play. And as always, speculation is running wild. Some boxing fans are hoping we'll finally get our first look at Undisputed 2. Personally, I doubt it. That doesn't mean I don't want to see it. It doesn't mean I don't think Steel City Interactive is working on something behind the scenes. I simply don't think tomorrow is the place. Current reports and predictions surrounding the June State of Play are heavily focused on major PlayStation titles like Marvel's Wolverine and other large-scale announcements. And this is something that I heard. They renting out movie theaters for this. So that's crazy. Why waste money on stuff like that? To me, that's a waste of time, especially in this era. I mean, and what's going on in society as far as budgets and stuff like that. Money, just you renting out us movie theaters to see this event tomorrow. Boxing games haven't appeared in most industry prediction lists. Could Sony surprise us? Absolutely. Will I be shocked if Undisputed 2 shows up? Yes. Because if SEI has truly shifted significant resources toward a sequel, they may want to wait because if SCI truly shifted significant resources toward a sequel, they may want to wait until they have something substantial to show rather than reveal a logo and disappear for another year. The bigger question, what concerns me more isn't whether Undisputed 2 appears tomorrow, it's why so many fans are already looking towards a sequel. Think about that. Undisputed was supposed to be the foundation for the future of boxing gaming. Yet, many fans are already discussing what the next game needs to fix. That's a conversation the boxing gaming genre hasn't had since the Fight Night era. When players immediately start talking about better punch tracking, better AI, better footwork, better career mode, better damage systems, better online play, better boxer creation, that tells you something important. Fans don't hate boxing games. Fans want more from boxing games. One of the most interesting discussions recently has been around claims that adding more content could create additional problems because the game still has underlying issues. Yeah, because you still have people that want DLC, they want more boxes and stuff like that, and Ash literally told everybody that the game is broken, and people still want stuff, even though he's saying that. That's crazy to me. If that is true, it highlights something many gamers don't realize. Every game has technical depth. Sometimes a feature that looks simple from the outside can affect animation systems, physics, calculation, AI decision making, career mode, progression, online synchronization. A game can reach a point where adding new features become increasingly difficult until core systems are rebuilt. The challenge for SCI is balancing two things. Fans demanding new content, fans demanding fixes. Neither side is wrong. Players want both. A topic we don't discuss enough. Boxing games need better ecosystems. And I talk about this a lot. Ecosystems and boxing games are very important to me. To me. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. What's up, Lamont Davis? Peace. Appreciate you coming through. What's up, Leafy? Appreciate you, Leafy, being here. Let me see. All right. Boxing games need better ecosystems. Most boxing games focus on individual matches. Boxing should focus on ecosystems. Imagine, just imagine, thousands of created boxers. A lot of y'all don't. A lot of y'all are not gonna imagine that at all, because that shows how passionate your passion doesn't match everybody else's passion. All right. Imagine thousands of created boxers, regional promotions, amateur circuits, dynamic rivalries, trainers building reputations, boxing gyms producing future champions, retired boxers becoming coaches, prospect scouting. The industry keeps building boxing games around fights. The real opportunity is building boxing games around careers and worlds. The match is only one part of the boxing. The match is only one part of boxing. The journey is everything. Why isn't there competition? Think about this. We have multiple football games. Well, we do. I was about to say we used to, but we do. Just that a lot of people don't talk about. We do have more than one football game out now. Um, Multiple racing games. Then we got two of those. Multiple fighting games. Yes, we have multiple fighting games. Multiple shooters. Yes, we have plenty of those. But boxing, one major licensed boxing game. That's it. Competition drives innovation. Imagine if tomorrow we had a simulation focused boxing game, an arcade boxing game, a management focused boxing game, a boxing RPG, a historical boxing game. Every genre grows when multiple developers push each other. Right now, boxing gaming doesn't have that luxury. Not promises, not marketing, not buzzwords. I want developers to tell fans what went right, what went wrong, what they're building, what they learned, what they refuse to compromise on. Transparency creates trust, and trust is something the boxing game community desperately needs. If Undisputed 2 appears tomorrow, I'll happily be wrong. I love to see it. But whether it appears or not, boxing gaming has bigger conversations ahead. The future isn't about one sequel, it's about creating boxing games that finally capture everything fans love about the sport: the gems, the rivalries, the trainers, the prospects, the legends, the rise, the fall, the comeback. Because boxing has always been about more than throwing punches. And the next generation of boxing games should be too. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Take it a day at a time, Paul. I know you hurting. I can see you pain and hear the pain in your voice. You got my support no matter what, bro. Stay strong. Appreciate you, man. I didn't know it was that telling. I didn't know it was that telling. Yeah, it is. It is bothering me. It is bothering me. I'm trying to keep from the wear and tear. I don't. Did I go out today? Yeah, I did go out today. I did go out today. I'm about to say I didn't even go out the house today, but I did briefly. All right. I'm gonna read a little more, and then I think I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this. I might pop back in later, but I'm gonna end it after I read this. All right. Why boxing video games keep hitting the same wall? Well, welcome back. Let me see. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. Let's go. All right, let's go deeper because the discussions around Undisputed potential sequels, and the future of boxing games isn't really about one game. It's about pattern. About a pattern that exists for nearly 20 years. See? 20 years. A pattern that keeps repeating itself, and the boxing community keeps paying the price. The cycle of boxing video games. Every boxing game seems to go through the same stages. Stage one, excitement. Fans are starved for boxing games. A new title gets announced. Everyone gets excited. People start imagining hundreds of boxers, career mode death, realistic AI, historic venues, dynamic rankings, realistic damage, real boxing styles. The imagination of boxing fans immediately outrun what developers can realistically deliver. And this is the part that bothers me when they say what developers can realistically do. There is no don't let people fool y'all with that nonsense. Don't let nobody fool y'all with that nonsense. Developers could do whatever we want in a boxing video game. Anything we see in real boxing can be put in a video game. Anything we see in real boxing can be added into a video game. It just goes with priorities and funding. Or if they, it could be put in a video game. It's on them. Stage two, reality arrives. The game launches. Fans enjoy parts of it. Then the cracks start showing. Questions begin appearing. Why doesn't the AI adjust? Why doesn't the footwork feels right? Why aren't rankings realistic? Why can't I create unlimited boxers? Why don't trainers matter? Why do fights sometimes feel repetitive? These aren't unrealistic questions. They're symptoms of something larger. Let me see. Stage three, the wish list explosion. Stage three, the wish list explosion. Suddenly, every fan becomes a designer. Yup. Yup. And honestly, that's not necessarily a bad thing. The problem is that most suggestions focus on individual features and more punches. Add more punches, add more boxers, add more venues, add more robes, add more trunks, add more animations. But very few discussions focus on architecture. Everything that I put is focused on architecture. The systems underneath everything, the foundation. And foundations determine everything. The dirty secret of sports games. Most sports games aren't limited by graphics anymore. They're limited by systems. Fans often say the graphics look great, and they're right. Modern sports games can look incredible, but graphics don't create replayability. Systems do. You can't stare at realistic sweat for 10 minutes. You can spend hundreds of hours inside a deep ecosystem. Those are very different things. The biggest problem in boxing games, boxers don't feel alive. This is the issue almost nobody discusses. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat real quick. This is the issue nobody discusses. Most boxing games create boxers. Very few create personalities. Imagine two pressure boxers. On paper, they look identical. Yet, in reality, Joe Frazier, pressure, constant body attacks, head movement, relentless pressure, willing to absorb punishment. Roberto Duran, pressure, psychological warfare, dirty tactics, counter opportunities, controlled aggression. See, they're both pressure, but there's differences. They're both pressure people, but they're both, there's differences. Now you go another pressure fighter. Julio Cesar Chavez, he's a pressure fighter. Ring cutting, body destruction, patient pressure. All three are pressure fighters, yet they fight completely different. Most boxing games fail to capture that distinction. Why boxing AI is harder than most sports? Let's compare. Football players follow plays. Basketball players follow sets. Racing drivers follow tracks. Boxers, they improvise constantly. A boxer may throw a punch because he saw an opening. He think he saw an opening. He's frustrated. He's tired. He's behind on points. He's trying to bait a counter. His corner instructed him. His ego took over. That's difficult to simulate. It is and it's not. All right. That's why boxing AI remains one of the hardest problems in sports gaming. I disagree with this. All right. The missing layer. Trainers matter more than we think. One thing boxing games constantly underestimate is the trainer. A trainer isn't just a stat boost. A trainer can completely change a career. Imagine a career mode where trainers influence style development, punch selection, defensive habits, recovery, confidence, fight planning. Suddenly, trainers become meaningful, not cosmetic, not menu items, meaningful. Why unlimited created boxers matter? And somebody wanted to know this. Why does unlimited created boxers matter? This topic gets dismissed far too often. Some people think created boxer slots are a minor feature. They aren't. For many players, they are the game. Some fans build entire amateur leagues, regional promotions, historical recreations, family dynasties, fantasy tournaments. They don't play boxing games for a week. They play them for years. Every created boxer extends the life of the game. Every restriction shortens it. Every restriction shortens it. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Okay. All right. The career mode opportunity nobody has fully explored. Imagine starting at 16 years old. I think you should go down a little further. I think you should start at like 8. You should start off realistically. You fight amateur bouts, gain local attention, choose trainers, choose promoters, build rivalries, suffer injuries, change styles, age physically, eventually retire. Then continue as trainer, promoter, matchmaker, gym owner. Your boxing story doesn't end, it evolves. No boxing game has truly explored that possibility. The sequel trap. This brings us back to Undisputed 2. Many fans already want a sequel, but here's the question. Do boxing games need sequels, or do they need foundations that can evolve for 10 years? Imagine if developers built better AI architecture, better career architecture, better boxer personality systems, better ecosystems, then expand those systems continuously. Perhaps the goal shouldn't be how quickly can we make Undisputed 2. Perhaps the goal should be how do we create the last boxing platform we need for the next decade? That's a much bigger question, and it's one worth discussing. Whether Undisputed 2 appears tomorrow or not is ultimately a small story. The bigger story is this. Boxing fans have some of the deepest ideas in sports gaming. Many have spent decades watching fights, studying styles, training, coaching, analyzing, building fantasy divisions, tracking prospects, remembering forgotten contenders. The challenge isn't finding ideas. The boxing community has ideas for generations. The challenge is building a game foundation strong enough to support them, because the future of boxing gaming won't be decided by graphics. It won't be decided by licenses. It won't be decided by marketing. It will be decided by systems. And the studio that finally understands that may create the boxing game fans have been waiting for since, excuse me, and the studio that finally understands that may create the boxing game fans have been waiting for since the Fight Night era. This is Poe, and this has been Poe and the Community Speak. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat before I end the show. All right, I'm about to end the show, y'all. I know it's status a half an hour. I thought I got an hour in, but it's half an hour. I appreciate everybody for coming through and supporting. You know, I'm a little worn out. You know, and kind of depressed. You know, the show helps me a little bit, but you know. Dad, man, you work. Why y'all always come in when I'm about to leave? All's good, man. Appreciate you coming through, True Sim. Yeah, it's like as soon as I'm about to sign off, everybody start popping in. Yeah, I was gonna cut the show short today because you know I wasn't really feeling it too much because you know a lot of y'all know my situation with my mother. My mother passed, and you know I be trying to keep myself busy, but you know it's like still heavy. My heart is still heavy. Yeah, my heart is still heavy. So I still try to push through, but you know I'll probably come back on later. What's up, A Smooth? Dad, all of y'all popping in right when I'm about to leave. Yeah, I'll probably pop back in later. You know, Yeah, because the wind, I be trying. Let me see. Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, True Sim. Pro boxing. Hey, Smooth, what's up, my brother? Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, man. Shout out to Don D. I'm gonna try to make it back on later on. But right now I'm gonna end the show, y'all. Like I said, not feeling it. And I wanted to do something. I don't want to let a day go by with me not doing any type of show. So, I appreciate y'all, man. Man, who that trying to pop up on the show when I just said that I'm about to end the show? What's up, Aaron?
In the show.
Yeah, you ain't hear nothing I said. I was like, I was seeing a couple of times. Said he just popping up.
Hey, listen, I've been watching my kids all day because my wife right now she's at work and I'm at home. So I was just like, watching the kids and I've been busy all freaking day and getting them all um ready and stuff like that. Made cookies, made food and junk. Like we've been having a whole grand grand day. So I've been
You
up
sound
and
like
down.
yeah, you sound like you had that type of day.
Oh yeah. These
You were
days are
like, I need
long.
an out. You were like, I need an out, man. Come on, man. Stop messing me up I need an out.
Look, man, whenever it comes to my kids, I love them to death, but they remind me that I never want to have another child. Like hey, listen, the way I see it as, and I tell my wife this, you don't even have to ask me if I want another kid. Like, just leave me home with them for an hour, and I not go to work, and I already know. Okay, yeah, I think I'm good on kids. I think we're good on kids. Shoot.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was talking about earlier. You weren't here. I was talking about earlier about tomorrow. Um, who was that? What's his name in the Dane or something in the Well, he's talking about they're going to probably announce Undisputed 2 tomorrow. And I said
Huh?
it's yeah, he talking about what's his name? Dane. He's in
Oh, Dame Shot.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's my
talking about
boy.
Yeah, he talking about they're gonna announce Undisputed 2 tomorrow in what's that State of Play. I
Nah,
said, man,
he was trolling.
yeah, I know he trolling because that with State of Play, they're gonna focus on the titles that they got. Then all the other stuff might be like secondary, but they're gonna just talk about that Wolverine. Probably talk about some Spider-Man or something like that, but they're not gonna talk about no Undisputed unless I spend some of that money that he be spending on stupid stuff. That Joker boy, he be spending money. I'll be like, yo, it seem like he spend more money than EA be spending. And that's another thing that I was talking about. Look at how Ash got all these boxes, and then they're trying to. This is the thing. What how you could tell that they got EA people on board, but they also not trying to make EA look bad. A lot of these guys, they're like, we don't know how's it going to work out with this company, so we don't want to really crap on EA because they're like, yeah, it's hard to get it's hard to get boxers and stuff. Man, y'all got over 300 boxers. And y'all got, so that's like triple, almost quadruple. I mean, man, they got 3 times what EA got.
Yeah,
And
but
they
they
got,
still have all the licenses still.
yeah. And the thing is, so EA they stopped at a certain amount. Not that they couldn't afford it, but EA stopped because they didn't want to spend money and they didn't think it was that important to them. But Undisputed, they went on with it. It's like, hey, we do what we gotta do. And it made more sense to them. They got all the belts. EA was talking about, oh, it's gonna cost us too much to get the belts and stuff like that. Steel City, they talked to them. I guess EA didn't feel like they sit down and have a conversation with what's called, because I talked to them and they didn't say nothing about they wanted money for this and that, because to them it would have helped them advertise the titles to a younger generation. Because even with Ash, the WBA wanted Ash to come to an event, and basically, and Ash turned him down. I don't know why he turned him down. Maybe I think because WBC, he's guy, he's real adamant about I mean, he's like real talkative and he talks to you. Like he invites you out to events and stuff. So he probably told Ash not to be bothered with the WBA. But that, to me, that was a stupid move. I would have been like, nah, I got to, because we're calling the game Undisputed. So it makes more sense to make sure you have all of the belts and you went to every event dealing with those belts. So it didn't make no sense. He thought I worked for it. Still say, I said, nope, I don't work for them. I said, but I can hook you up. He said, please do. And people be thinking I'll be capping, but nah, I got that. Matter of fact, I got it on my Instagram. I got it on my Instagram, that conversation. I sent it to Ash and I sent it to Todd Grisham to make sure. Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think we'll ever get another fight night again? Like let's say like within the next 4 to 5 years.
Yeah. I think so. Because what's gonna happen is what why you what you mean? You don't think we're gonna get anything?
I think that
it's too much money out there. It's too much money out there, especially if Steel City do a better job the second time around. It's like they cannot make a game.
I mean, I could see. So they only have certain contracts structured exclusive rights to, like a Bud. I think they have Canelo exclusive deals for the next few years. Obviously, the Muhammad Ali deal that runs exclusively through 2037, I believe. So they have certain boxers that are exclusively they're entitled to for the next few installments of the game's lifespan. So I mean, I could see EA pulling out a move, but I don't think it would be called Fight Night. I think that they would change it to something else. I mean, it could be a Zuffa boxing thing just because of the fact that that's a new promotion that's a part of the UFC and stuff like that, and obviously UFC is tied to EA and everything like that. And it would be easier if they had specifically Zuffa boxers signed over to EA, because they would get an exclusive, basically, deal membership, probably a discount too, just signing all of the Zuffa boxers over to like a Zuffa boxing game for EA specifically.
Yeah, my thing is, I think they would do a great job if they just, give us a game, and it don't gotta have huge stars in it. A great game is a great game to me. A lot of people gonna complain at first, but the game itself, all it's gonna do is make you want them boxers. And what happened is, and this is smart to me, it's smart marketing because you give them no name boxers, and what happens is the fans start saying, "Hey, why don't you be in this game? Why don't you be in that game?" So you said to the boxers enough, they want to be in the game, and they're not going to ask for a lot. And I seen that with a lot of boxers, because I remember that guy Zerafa, Zerafa. That joker used to aggravate me to death. If I was to count how many times that joker used to email me and text me and stuff, man, you would think that joker was a stalker. Did you ask him yet? Why they ain't got me in the game? Cause round for round had him. I guess that joker was following me when I was with round for round, because we scanned him in round for round, and he was gonna be like, I guess what's his name? Andrew was gonna have him as the cover person. Because I was always telling him it don't matter, who you have in the game. Fans at this point, they just want a boxing game. So it really doesn't matter. Yeah, you can have star boxers, but it don't really matter who you got on the cover. They're gonna go by what the game plays like. Because a game that plays good, fans gonna always support it. They're gonna support it more than anything. Because you can have a billion stars and the game play like crap, and nobody's gonna play it no more. But if you got a game that plays good with it's no stars, fans they'll play that game and support it more.
Yeah, I think it depends heavily on the community too that's involved, because it's not always the case, because you do need a certain name to garner attention, that creates a wave. And I do think that with where we're at right now with boxing games, I do believe that we're at a point where people really realistically just want a boxing game. So it really doesn't matter if it really has big names or small names, or just amateur boxers or something like that, or made up boxers and things like that. Like Truthbound is doing.
Yeah.
So I think that we're in a space right now, because we have such few boxing games out on the market, that the climate is pretty hot when it comes to realistically, when it comes to making a boxing game. It you could be really successful right now in the climate right now, just because there's not a lot. There's not a lot out there. And, with all the other games that have, like 50 million versions of the same thing, it's kind of just like, boxing games. we only have really Undisputed right now to fall on. And that's not good realistically, because we do need more competition in this space. So I'm wondering what the heck is going on with Overhand Interactive. I know that they had started out as a Muay Thai boxing game, and they also did say on one of their posts, on one of their videos, that they were going to actually have a boxing game mode. But we haven't heard realistically anything when it comes to like what's going on, what are they doing. Like, I know that they had showed that mocap session and stuff like that, but I feel like that was the same place that they were last year, around this time last year, actually. where they had showed footage of them actually doing the mocap and getting people into mocap animations and stuff like that. So I was surprised whenever the latest update that they did, which was about maybe a month ago now, that it was basically just the uh same thing with mocap session footage and stuff like that, and having people come in and do mocap stuff. So I'm trying to figure out if they're trying to do that just because they're still on that aspect. They're like right now still on the mocap session pace, or if they've moved on, they're just trying to give us something to hold us over. Which I don't feel like, if you're trying to give us something to hold us over, that showing us something that we had already known that you were doing would have been the best thing to do, especially after such a long period of silence and what seems as absence. And I feel like that's one of the worst parts about the boxing game space is you know what's happening, but the word when it comes to the marketing aspect and people saying that we're here and we're at this stage in the or this phase of the game stage and stuff like that. It feels like that's such a minuscule thing to do when it comes to these boxing developers.
Yeah. I mean, what's going trying to join in? Let me see what he got to say. Y'all just ain't gonna let me get up off of here, huh?
My bad, Poe.
No, I guess I'll stay. I get the tiredness wore off a little bit. I said, let me shake this tiredness off. I'm not tired, but I think it's depression. Let me see. I'm shocked Crooks didn't say let me in. Hold up, is that Crooks or is that what's going? Cause I'm looking at two. Yeah, it's Crooks. I thought that was Norton. My fault. Crooks trying to pop up on here. I thought it was Norton. I'm looking at all these names. I'm so tired. I don't even see no Norton up there. I don't even know where I saw Norton at. It's Crooks all along. Let me see. Overhand Interactive needs to come back from the dead and show us what their game looks like now because their boxing looks super good. I guess Crooks said, let me see, when is, oh, there you go.
What's good, Crooks? We might be having technical difficulties at the moment.
Can't hear you if you're saying something.
I think he's trying to get his mic adjusted, situated. But back to Overhand Interactive. Like, yeah, I think that we all want a boxing game and stuff like that. Hey, Crooks, what's good?
What up, my bad? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good, bro. But we were talking about like basically boxing games in the space and stuff like that, and how it's such few right now that basically it's an open market, and that it just seems like when it comes to game boxing developers, it seems like any kind of information in relation to them letting their community know where they're at in the phase, it seems like it's so minuscule that it seems like the conversation when it comes to the devs and communicating with their community is basically second to none. Like there's nothing really going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like there's just it's like you said, there's not a lot of games. There's not a lot of boxing games that are being made right now, right?
Yeah,
Obviously with Undisputed, everybody's waiting on Undisputed because that's the only major title boxing game we've gotten since Fight Night Champion, which was waiting what I forget 2011, if I remember correctly.
yeah,
So yeah, so I mean, there's not a lot of like powerhouse games that are in progress of being made, and the unfortunate thing with Undisputed is it's the support, its life cycle support was so short
uh,
that they kind of short arm the community a little bit, as I would be what I was gonna say. Like, normally like with UFC games, because obviously like with MMA, the UFC is the only big game MMA game that's out there. There's no other games being made other than UFC MMA games. But with them being an every other year, a bi-yearly release every other year, they plan out ahead of time to make sure that they're pushing out, dropping new fighters, dropping new venues, like, doing different game modes, stuff like that, to kind of push it out a year. So that way, really, you know, you have all of that stuff for a whole year after it releases until they come out with another game. So they kind of give it to you to kind of appease you for the year that they're going to take to drop the next game. Where with Undisputed, I feel like Undisputed is going that route, because if you guys have seen, like, in the last couple of months, we've gotten a lot of information. I mean, they allowed content creators to go out there and see what they've been working on. Um, and Mike Straw got the interview with Ash Habib that's supposed to be coming out here pretty soon. So they've been active. They just haven't been active amongst. Let me. How do I put it? They've been active in speaking, whether it be through content creators or in interviews. They just don't have nothing in the current game that's gonna kind of make you kind of appease the community until they're able to announce the next game. They just cut the support, and now we have to wait basically until the second game comes out. So
yeah,
it's definitely a tough time to be a boxing fan, especially a boxing video game fan. Like, it's tough
yeah,
because you're watching, like, right. I would have loved to have hopped on and played with Oshaki Foster over the weekend, but I can't even play that because he's not in the game, right? So
uh,
it's definitely tough.
and they got him. It ain't like they don't got him. They
Do
got
they
him.
though? Do they though?
Yeah, they do. They got him. They got him. He
Because
might
they
be
got
one
a
of
whole
the best.
bunch of names and files.
Yeah, he probably one of the ones they got to resign. But they got him. They had over 300 people, and a lot of people say, "No." People be saying, "This is the thing that bugs me out when people be trying to dispute what I'm saying. When I'm saying I'm not guessing, they had over 300 people. They had over 300 boxers. I remember when I was talking to Ty Grisham, he said, "Po, we got over 300 boxers. So that right there, that's enough. It's 300 boxers." He said, we signed over 300 boxers because I kept giving them out. Say, hey, this boxer said he want to be a part of the other thing. He said, all right, Po. He said, it's just adding on to our the boxes we already got. And I said, all right. And he said, yeah. And they was telling me we got all these trainers, we got all these referees and stuff. I was getting excited. And we ain't see none of that. We ain't see none of that. So
Yeah.
guess we get to see it in Undisputed too.
Yeah, and I feel like really what caused that. I don't think that they plan to cut the support for Undisputed One as soon as they have. I feel like probably their plan was probably to go into this year and start releasing more and more packs to
Yeah.
continuously keep the game going. I feel like they just seen the negative perception that was starting to come from the community about the game, and the glaring issue is the desync, and they couldn't do anything to fix that, not without rebuilding the entire game, you know.
Yeah.
So I think they were just like, look, we're not going to be able to fix the gameplay. We're not going to be able to fix that. We can continue to throw these packs out, but people, and you guys heard it, people would just continue to be like, well, they just want our money. They're just money hungry. They're just money hungry because they keep releasing these boxer packs, and they can't fix the biggest problem. Like, and I mean, Ash didn't come out and say that until his final statement, obviously, that happened over a month ago, saying that they couldn't fix it, right? Or at the content creator event,
Yeah.
that they couldn't fix it, but that was over. The game had already been out for a year, so you know, it's like, then after that, what can you do? You know, like you can't really. The timing of it is really coincidental, right? Or like kind of timed out perfectly, because they had the championship edition launching around the Terrence Crawford Canelo fight, and that was also the event that they flew the content creators out there, and that's when that interview happened when Ash actually said like, "Hey, you know, we've been contacting other gaming companies, outsourcing it to see what we can do, right?" And then immediately after the Canelo Crawford event, the content creators interviews come out, and then we get nothing after that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, they put the information out, and then, you know, they knew after that, like, hey, we basically just told the community we can't do anything about it, so now we can't just continuously drop boxer packs, because then it's going to look like we're money hungry. So I think they were just like, okay, like let's just get started on the next iteration of the game, which is cool. Like, I respect it. I don't like that they took so long to tell us that they were working on it, but I'm okay with them working on it because the game was never going to be able to be better than what it is. And
Yeah.
that's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah, it's gonna be stuck. And he kept saying, he said, the more we add, the more it breaks. Because my thing is, once they start taking things out, you leave a hole in your game. You leave it. The architecture start collapsing on itself. Like you're taking things out, you stripping things. Because each thing you literally building systems. That's what they're called, systems. You're literally building systems, but then you take something away, like you say, hey, we're going to take away the clinching because the clinching is built into the game. You take that away. Now that's something that is reaching forward. That's a lot of times that happens with the desync too, because it's something happening, but it's nothing there to work it. So you taking away all these different things that were there, but it's nothing there. So now you got the computer is going through some type of motion. So that happens too. So there's like, basically, let's just start all over and we add the things that we took out so we don't have them problems. And with Unreal Engine, a lot of the stuff baked into the game. So that's why it's gonna be faster for them to make this game. A lot of people didn't know that. They thought they were like kind of like really building from the scratch. No, a lot of stuff like for a boxing game, because you can look it up too. A lot of the stuff that we want in a boxing game, they already have baked inside the game. It's like easier for them to add into the game. So that's why they're able to show stuff early the way they did. Because I thought it was going to take them longer time to show us anything, but they said no. We already got, they already got stuff baked into the game, so we can show them something.
Well,
But
technically, it is still entirely made from scratch because it's on a completely different engine.
yeah.
It's just, the concept is still the same when it comes to terms of what they're trying to achieve developmentally. But when it comes to the overall game, I mean, the expectation is the game is going to have completely different animations, defense, offense, everything. When it comes to boxing, we're expecting for that to all be overhauled We don't want it to just be like okay, so they added some new and improved punch animations, but there's still no depth towards the game in general. No, we want that the improvement of the punch animations, more defensive options, but we also want more depth when it comes to the modes in the game, so that it actually has replay value. So
Yeah.
when it comes to everything, it's like, no, we want the premium. We want the fact that we're giving you a second opportunity for you to make this the best game that you possibly can do, and basically say, we've literally done everything we can to make this the best game possible, but this is not going to be Undisputed One. It's going to be a completely different game, like Fanatico said. I have that expectation
Yeah.
that this is going to be so much better than what we've ever experienced when it comes to Undisputed as a development team. So my whole thing is like, you're on Unreal Engine, and we know that you're going to try to do the best that you can. We know that you're going to do things in order to basically make it known that you are sorry for what you gave us with one, and you know that it was a mistake when it comes to the way that everything went. But when it comes to two, there's no more chances after that. Like, if it's a make or break thing, and that's reasonable for the whole community to feel that kind of consensus, is that it's make or break. Like, we shouldn't have really given you a second opportunity at this point, but we know that you're also new coming into the space, so we forgave the mistake, and now we're giving you another chance to make up for it. So it's up to you to show us that it's not a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me type of thing. Like, this is really a make or break situation, and they have to know that for future installments going forward, this too is what sets the trend for the future of their team, of the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron, you broke up with a girl before, didn't you? You you sound like you breaking up with them or something.
That's
like
wild, yo. That's
you giving a
wild.
breakup speech. I'm like, yo, this joker sound like he breaking up with them, and hey, you sound like you talking to a
Yeah, no, but I mean, what he's saying is right. But
yeah,
because it's the way that I feel about it. But it's just more of like, I modify it a little bit. Every game has something wrong with it when it's released. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. It's just not the way that games are built nowadays. I don't think the community, obviously me being part of it and me talking to a lot of people and being a content creator in the zone and hearing a lot of people's opinions on it, I don't think that they had an issue with the game having problems. They had an issue with the game having game breaking problems. Desync being the key culprit of it. Like, it changes the way that the entire game plays. You can't have game breaking problems with your games. Like, you can have things that you can fix. Like, minute things, right? Because other games have it. They all have like little bugs here and there, and then they go back through with their patches, they fix it, and then it's like, okay, like, it makes the game more bearable. So with Undisputed 2, it's going to be the same thing. Undisputed 2 is not going to be perfect. It's going to have its own issues, but it can't have game breaking issues like a desync, or punches not landing the way that they were supposed to. It has to be more stable with connection wise. Desync can't be a thing. It has to feel more realistic than what we got with Undisputed One. You know what I mean? Like, everybody being able to use boxers the way that they don't box in real life, right? Sim boxing. It's got to feel more realistic. But there just can't be any of these major issues going into
yeah,
Undisputed 2 that you can't fix. Like there was with, okay, well, we can't take loose footwork out of the game. Can't do that. Okay, well then you got to fix desync. Well, we can't fix that either. And those are two of the major problems that the people on the online community are having with the game. So
Yeah.
it's kind of just like you can't have that.
Yeah, because I knew what was going on when Ash was saying certain things. That comes from me being talking to developers and like literally behind the scene. Once he kept saying we got to make everybody the same across the board, like far as everybody doing a loose foot movement and stuff like that. I said, oh sweat. I said the game broke. I knew the game was broke. And he tried to dress it up in a way so he can't say that the game was broke, but until it came to he had no choice, but he had to tell you the game was broke. But he said, yeah, we got to make the game fair. We got to make everybody. It's not fair for everybody to have different move sets and stuff like that. That don't make sense. That's not how you sold the game. I said the game is broke, and then he not telling nobody. Then he finally came out and said the game is broke, and certain things when we change certain animations, it breaks something off. So every time we add new boxers, we're not going to really be able to put their style in because it breaks stuff. I was like, oh, I said, I knew it. But they should have said that earlier instead of keep waiting and waiting and waiting. But my thing is, my expectation is high because for one, see, a lot of people, they still gonna give Steel City excuses. My thing is, they told us, hey, we got guys from EA, we got guys from 2K, we got guys from Rockstar. You don't say that to fans of video games. Now our expectations up here. You telling us we got prime real estate. We got people that know what they're doing. We on a great engine. This engine gonna make everything we want be better. So now all the excuses go out the door. But people gonna give them excuses. People gonna give them excuses regardless of the fact. They could have 2,000 people in the studio and have unlimited developers, and people still gonna give them excuses.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree with you. And I mean, that's just gonna come. That just comes with the territory. There's gonna be people that are gonna make excuses, and that was one thing that really irritates me, right, about people when it comes to my content is that people will tell me like, well, you think this game is great and all this stuff. I'm like, no, I don't think it's great. I point out the positives about the game, but I also point out the negatives. Like I've made plenty of videos and talked about it plenty of times on my stream where I'm like, I get irritated just as much as the next person. And Imani's been in there. He could tell you. Like I be getting mad at the game, man, because I'm like, dude, this shit is just not fun. I'm having to play it. I have to play everybody the same exact way. Once they figure out that they can't box with me on the game, then they're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to cheese you now. So then it's like I gotta instantly switch into cheese mode and be playing in a cheesy way just to be able to enjoy not getting cheesed myself. So it's I agree with you that there are gonna be people that give them excuses. There's gonna be deters of it, but it's on the people that know that are close to Steel City to try to make sure that they're on the right track. And it seems like with the stuff that was wrong with Undisputed One, they're on the right track of fixing the things that the community was asking them to fix in the first game with the second game. So I'm interested to see it. Hopefully, Steel City works with me with the second game. I can be a content creator that goes and actually gets to test out the game, or I'm able to work with Steel City this time around like I wasn't with Undisputed One. So that way I can have my hand in helping the game be as successful as it possibly can be. But from what I know so far, I'm liking what I'm hearing with everything that the content creators have been talking about with Undisputed 2.
Yeah, and I think that when it comes to the Undisputed 2, they do have a lot to actually, or well, I'm not going to say a lot. That's crazy. they have some things that they can fall on when it comes to, like, for instance, Emmanuel Augustus and David Benavidez. Those two specifically, they have their own iterations when it comes to certain punches, like Emmanuel Augustus up jab or Emmanuel Augustus straight is different than the majority of the roster. Actually, the whole roster. His hooks are different. His power hook is also different. So, and when it comes to David Benavidez, all of his hooks are different. His jab and straight are basically the same, realistically. But when it comes to his hooks and his body hooks, his rear hook and his lead hook, they're different animations than the rest of the roster. So when it comes to those two individuals, that's something that you can follow on. When it comes to depth and adding depth to the game as a whole, that's something that you should look at when it comes to the rest of your roster. Nobody wants everybody to have the same kind of punch animations. We want at least, we won't even say all, but at least a heavy majority, huge portion of the roster to have their own type of animations that is specifically exclusive to that boxer, especially if it's a popular boxer, a Hall of Famer boxer, a legend. It doesn't matter. We want boxers to have their own sets when it comes to their move sets, their punch animations, their defense. So what I mean by that is every single boxer has their own variation when it comes to styles.
Yep.
Not every single boxer boxes the same. Not every single boxer has the same high guard. Every boxer has a different variation when it comes to their high guards, their Philly shells, different types of things, peekaboo style. Like, we want to see that type of detail when it comes to boxers in the game. And you can also translate that to loose movement. Not every boxer moves the same. Some boxers have good foot movement, but they have bad head movement. Some have great head movement, but aren't the best when it comes to footwork. So when it comes to things like that, we want that type of attention to detail going forward when it comes to Undisputed 2, because with Unreal Engine, it gives you that kind of avenue to be able to do things like that. It's a lot better when it comes to engines like Unity. Like, it's no contest. So when it comes to things like this is the things that passionate boxing fans are asking for. We understand that you're trying, but we also want to see that attention to detail, because that shows also more effort. It shows that you want this game to succeed. It shows that you are following these boxers that you're putting into the game. It shows that you actually know what you're doing whenever it comes to, oh, I put Bud in the game and he's not like Sugar Ray Leonard. So Sugar Ray Leonard and him shouldn't have the same type of jab. They also shouldn't have the same type of defense. They also shouldn't have the same type of animations. When it comes to things like that, you want that attention to detail, because you know these boxers, and some of these boxers are your favorite boxers. So when it comes to the things that these devs are adding into these boxers, you also want them to actually make it known that we understand you like this boxer. We understand you want this boxer in the game. We're adding this boxer to the game, and we're going to have attention to detail when it comes to this boxer who's being added in the game. His defense is going to be like real life. His offense is going to be like real life. His high guard is going to be like real life. His Philly shell is going to be like real life. His peekaboo style, his iterations, his variations when it comes to boxing, it's going to be something that's exclusively secluded to him. That's what the type of attention to detail that we want in this game. And it's not that fact that we're trying to hate and be like, oh, you got to do it this way. You got to be like this. No, it's just when it comes to people, and it doesn't matter what it is. It could be boxing, it could be basketball, or it could be something that's completely in a different realm. When it comes to people who speak from a form of passion, we want to know that the person who is trying to portray what we're passionate about into whatever it is, we want them to know that we see it. We see all the details. We see the attention that you're paying to it. So when it comes to it not being either proper or something being off, If we tell you, oh, this is not right, it's not because we don't like you. It's not because we're haters. It's not because we don't believe in you. It's because what you're doing, if you're going to do it, if you're going to add it, do it right. That's the whole thing. At the end of the day, it's not that the community is full of haters and stuff like that. It's the fact of, if you're going to add these boxers into the game and you're going to say we're boxing fans as a dev team, then we want you to actually do everything right when it comes to loose foot movement. Doesn't have to be for everybody. And also, if you're going to have it for everybody, you have to have variations. You have to add depth to it. It's got to be different types of loose foot movement for each individual boxer, because not every boxer moves the same. It makes no sense to have all these boxers having this flashy footwork, but they're not known for being a flashy style boxer and stuff like that, because that takes away from the uniqueness of that boxer, and it makes him just like every single body else on the roster. When you're supposed to try to actually make it everybody's exclusive to themselves. So I'm just saying, in this long rant, the fact that we want y'all to succeed. Nobody hates you when it comes to the dev team. Nobody hates you when it comes to Saf. Nobody hates you when it comes to Ash. Nobody hates you when it comes to anybody on the dev team. It's just the fact that if you're gonna do something and try to betray it for boxing fans, make sure that you do it in the right way, so that we don't have to keep going on and on about, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this all day. Because as passionate boxing fans, that's what you should want from your community, because it's not us hating on you. It's us being real with you. That's the type of communication you wanted originally when it came to your community. And if you want that going forward, don't make people seem like they're haters just because they're honest in their critiques of your art.
Yeah, that man. Yo, Aaron went off. I was like, yo, Aaron. I was like, yo, Aaron going off on them. Yo, they needed that. They needed that. You needed to say that. It's like you had that built all up. Like, let me get it out. I got the opportunity. Yeah, I'm gonna say it now. And I feel that same way. Feel the same way.
It's because I remember a couple days ago that I had put in Jay's chat this outline of certain things that needed to be added in Undisputed 2 that wasn't a part of Undisputed 1, and things I think that needed to be recognized in the game if it was going to also succeed. And I remember thinking, I'm going to put this in this dumb survey that they got. And I was like, I really don't want to do the survey. So I looked at that survey and I was like, man, I'm not doing this again. And I got right off. I can't even lie. Like, I was like, bro, listen, I've been so mad because I understand people like Smooth. I understand people like you. I understand people like even Beast to a degree. Don D, Leafy. I understand a lot of the people who have been heavily vocal about their frustrations when it comes to certain things, when it comes to this game and the way that it's gone. Because I remember writing and putting down so many suggestions, so many things that could add to the depth of the game, so many things that can make the game improve quality-wise and make it actually a good game. And I remember not a single one of those things was read or taken into consideration. I had to go to Jay for certain things when it came to the devs actually listening, which is kind of nobody probably knew that, but there are certain things that I've said that the devs have considered, and they know that it's right for the game, but that's probably not going to be something that's ever going to happen. Or if it is going to ever happen, it's going to be added into 2 exclusively. And I've talked to people like Darkseid about this. I've talked to people like Juice about this. I've talked to people, like I said before, Jay MMA about this. And it's because I'm super passionate. So when it comes to people in the chat, And when it comes to people outside of the chat or just in general in the community, I feel y'all's frustration because I used to go write freaking paragraphs and dialogues and chapters of things that would add quality to the game, and none of it got added to one. So whenever I went on that long rant, that's just the thing. Like, that was just frustration. I get where y'all coming from, because it's our only boxing game, and it still doesn't match nearly what we've wanted in a boxing game. So, yeah.
Yeah, man standing on a soapbox. Yeah, it was fitting. I had to do it. It was fitting. Just you stand on the soapbox, letting out what you feel.
Hey, sometimes all you just need to be is heard.
Yeah. My thing is, and we got people here listening. I hope one day they just come out of the shadows and say something.
I hope so too.
Yeah, because that's what Don D was saying. It's like, why don't he say they come and listen? Why don't they say something? But from my understanding, if they say something, that means you're basically saying you're making something. And even if you're not, you just considering it. And people gonna bombard you, and they don't want to be bombarded. That's why they don't come out the shadows and say anything. But they listen. I'm pretty sure
they still are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people from Steel City be here too. My thing is, why y'all shutting Poe out the door? Y'all pushing me out. Please be like, Poe, we like your ideas or something. Say something. It's like I'm believe Public Enemy number one. And my thing is, I'm not nobody enemy. I just want the best game possible. I just want a game. I don't care who make it. I'm like, whoever making the boxing game, I'm there. I'm part of the groups. I'm there talking and everything. I support everybody. I even support 2D boxing. Jev game. And Jev, I guess he was kind of sad that I said I don't like 2D games. And I said, yeah, I don't like it, but I'll support your game. But I said, that's not something that I play. But being that the way people push in the game, the career mode, it makes me kind of interested of really wanting to play the career mode. Because that's crazy. If a 2D career mode got people that's not that big of boxing fans, that means a lot. And that's like, yo, yeah, somebody should team up with them. I think Steel City should be like, yo, Jev, let's collaborate and let's do something. But it's too late now. Box Fanatical team got them. They saw something. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to people like BKSB, Bloody Knuckles Street Boxing, when it comes to like Overhand Interactive, like I'd like to see all of them either work together or for Steel City to recognize a lot of these independent devs, because a lot of them have shown some real talent. So I think like people like Love Seat Shorty, shout out to you. Jev, shout out to you. 2D Boxing, Overhand Interactive, shout out to y'all. Truthbound, Claimer Uncut. I think all y'all should, if y'all could, y'all work together or something like that, because that probably would be a great boxing game, honestly. If y'all all came together and conjoined ideas and put that into fruition when it came to your iteration of boxing. I think that would be a great thing for the boxing gaming community. So when it comes to y'all all deserve y'all's shout outs because I love what y'all are doing and I love that y'all are all giving us a more boxing game in a much needed space.
I agree 100%. I'll be saying the same thing. They should all collaborate, join together. Do Voltron, just join forces and build the best game possible. Cause Love C Shorty, he has some great ideas. Claymon Cuts, has some great ideas. And then what's that? Overhand boxing, man. They make a boxing game, man. I could just see it now. It probably made what's called second guess reality. EA and Undisputed. I mean, and Steel City. Be like, Dad, do we still want to make a game?
Yeah, we gotta compete with that.
Yeah, but to me, it's like I always say. Even Turkey's Alex Sheik said it. He said it's enough room for there to be more than one boxing game. A lot of people be wanting just one game. No, it's enough room to have more than one boxing game. That's how you get better games. Because when you got companies competing against each other, they compete to make better games. And that's the truth. And I'm laughing because like with EA, like I tell the story about the EA and 2K when 2K was making Prize Fighter, EA was scared, but not Brizzle. Brizzle wasn't scared. He was hoping that they do make a game, and he was hoping that it was a great game. Because his thing, if they make a great game, EA will give them more money to make a better game. So he wanted the competition. But it Prize Fighter flopped. It flopped it heavy. They're laughing. They're laughing all the way to the bank. I said, Dad, man, y'all. And they did it in 18 months. What kind of game you gonna make in 18 months? Nothing. Nothing. 18 months. You see, they made what they made in 18 months. They basically made exactly what Claymon Cut made in 18 months. Almost the same thing. Almost the same thing with Claymon Cut made by himself. And you got a team. I think they had a decent sized team. But the guy, boy, I ain't gonna never forget it. It kind of, it's cringy when a man cry, like he not crying, but you can hear the crying in his voice. That's kind of cringy how the Joker was talking to me. I said, I know this Joker ain't crying. He said, but they rushing us, and we want to make the best game possible. But 2K, they're rushing us to make this game. And I was like, I said, that's sad. That's bad. I'm at the same time, I'm like, Dad, come on. This Joker crying. He sound like he crying. He sound like he want me to say something, but I don't know what to really say. And I said, if I might say the wrong thing, I would have been like, man, y'all gotta wait. What y'all gonna do? Fire me? I would have said something like that, but I'm saying that, but it won't affect me. I'd have been like, you should say this and say that, but I was like, nah, let me start their business. I just listen, let them, tell. Because I was like, yo, man, you should add this, you should add that. I said, fans want this, he was listening to me, but he's like, yeah, I could add certain things, but I can't add certain things because they're rushing us and stuff. It's going to take too much time to test it out. And, he was saying all these different things. And he was like, he was passionate. He wanted to make a great game. But 2K was rushing, like they was competing with EA. Yeah, rush it out. Just get something out there, and we scare EA, and we get it out there, and it does good enough because they're hoping to do good off of that bad game, so they could make a better game to like really be. I was like, man, what type of thinking are y'all thinking? That was the stupidest thing in the world. I don't even think Prize Fighter looked better than the actual Rocky games, and that's the same people that made the Rocky games. That's the funniest part about it to me. I say, yo, Beast loved that game. I don't like it. He's like, oh man, people just don't understand. I say, I don't like it. That's my thing. Is hey, we all see something different, and that's okay. That's what I be telling people. Ain't no use to arguing with people because some people like certain things. They like, they like something broken. They know how to deal with it. They know how to handle it. They know how to accept it. And me, it just the way my mind is set up, I can't just accept something being broken or the way it is. Let me see something.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I just feel like we're kind of in a state of like not even complacency. We're just kind of in a state of like you're in like a plateau where it's like nothing's really moving and nothing's really happening. You're just kind of like you're just kind of like sitting and existing at this point when it comes to the state of boxing games, and it kind of feels like that. Like just because there's not that much traction going on when it comes to development teams talking to their communities. I just wish that they were more vocal about what phase they're at. Especially when it comes to like games that have been in the development process for a minute now, like Overhand Interactive. I feel like Overhand Interactive could be more. Um, they could talk more to their community. Like Tale of the Tape. Tale of the Tape is coming out in 2027, and I think that I think that started later than Overhand Interactive did.
Yeah,
And they're coming. Or he, I think it's a single dev. I know that he was talking about he's trying to get that out and released in 2027. So it's like, is that a realistic time slot for Overhand
no, he
Interactive?
said August. I think August he's talking about bringing that game out. I think
Really?
was that him that said August, or was that the other system? I thought it was August he said that was coming out.
No,
So
I didn't. I didn't hear from Tape about August. I have it on wish list on Steam, and it says 2027. But I mean,
okay.
if it's August, that's even better. I just wish that there was more communication because um with Tale of the Tape coming out, Overhand Interactive, I wonder now if that's a realistic time slot for Overhand Interactive to come out. Like, are y'all thinking late this year? Since you've been in development for a while now, are y'all thinking nearing the end of this year, like just the holidays? Are you thinking sometime middle next year, late next year? Like, it would just be good to have some kind of knowledge of what phase they're at, because like a lot of people are questioning, like, are you still going to make the game at this point? Are you still going to are you still going to be able to fulfill being out in the next couple of years? Because at this point it's just like a whole lot of he said, she said. I feel like there's more time and dates from the community than the devs themselves, because they're not outright speaking about what their projection is on a date.
Yeah, this is what I gotta ask you. Now, I ask you now. Do you feel that the MMA guys have more passionate about the MMA game, the way what's missing, what's on the game, and what's in the game, than they are about Undisputed?
So are you talking about like do they have like are they more passionate speaking about like aspects that aren't in MMA?
Yeah.
Like so you're saying like I'm trying to get what you're exactly asking. Like are they more passionate speaking about MMA than they are boxing games?
Yes. I know you're trying to make sure you somebody feels some type of way. Because I was doing the same thing when I was saying it. But my thing is, I feel that MMA fans, their passion is like really like you can hear it's a different passion about it. I look at it. I don't like MMA, but my thing is I like to look because I like to prove my point. So I said, let me listen to the way this Joker talk about. I like put it side by side. You put it side by side. You see, they barely talk about the boxing. It's like the same excitement is not there. But when UFC, MMA, they like super excited. They want everything in it. They want to make sure everything is critiqued right. But with boxing, they don't really care. They okay with it the way it is. And I'm like, yo, why are you talking for it? If you're not really that excited for it, stop trying to overshadow the people that really care about it because the boxing fans don't do that with MMA. They don't overshadow or try to out overtalk the MMA fans. And that's where I get a little frustrated with. Like
So
go ahead.
I think that when it comes to MMA as of now, probably just because with Undisputed specifically, when it comes to certain things, you don't have really much to say. Like everything that's been said has already been stapled. And I think that right now with boxing games right now, you don't know what's coming out, when it's coming out, and where it's at in the development process. So I could say a bunch of things that I would like to be added in Truthbound. I could say a lot of things that would be added. I would like to see added in Overhand Interactive or Tale of the Tape or Undisputed 2 whenever it comes out, which I think is going to be late 2027. And I think that when it comes to the MMA guys who enjoy boxing and stuff like that, I think right now they're kind of in a space of they really, really want a boxing game to thrive and succeed. Their issue right now is just the fact that there's not really much on the content side of things to really be able to speak on things like boxing games as of now, because it's like it's one thing if you have a boxing game that's coming out, like let's say within the next few months, and you actually have that time slate that time basically slated. It's another thing if you don't know when it's coming out at all. And that's kind of where the space is. And I think because UFC 6 right now is coming out within like the next 2 weeks, I think because it's happening so soon and there's more things when it comes to an overhaul of striking in UFC, I think because there's an excitement for that. And with Undisputed 2 being out in about a year or two, it's hard to really be able to speak on anything about what Undisputed 2 needs because you're not in that moment of it's about to come out and they need suggestions on what else is needed or what else has to be added for the game. Whereas UFC 6 is about to come out and there's suggestions that can still be added to make the game improved. So it's like it's kind of a different thing. I don't think it's more so that they're more passionate about MMA. I think it's more so just the fact that right now, because MMA is closer along than the next boxing game, it's easier for them to basically put their focus onto the next combat sports game when it comes to MMA. And that's kind of where it's at. It's the fact that UFC 6 is right now. Undisputed 2 is Lord knows when that's coming out. Tail of the Tape, Lord knows. Truthbound, Overhand Interactive, 2D boxing, like all these other games and stuff like that. Although we all want them to come out as soon as possible with the time needed and stuff like that to make the game the best it can be, it's also understood. If I keep pushing for it, that's going to make them feel either rushed or that's not going to make them feel like they should be able to, they have the time needed in order to make this game proper. But UFC 6 is out like right now. It's like right around the corner. It's like 2 weeks away. So it's easier for them on the content creation space to be able to talk about something like that when it's so soon about to happen. Whereas your boxing game, it's not happening anytime soon. So it's like you're basically saying a whole lot of stuff, but you don't even know when it's going to actually end up coming out. So I think that's kind of what it is. It's not more so they're more passionate about one thing than the other. I think it's just the fact that something's a lot closer away, so it's easier for them to talk more about that than it is the next boxing game because we don't know when that's going to be.
You're so diplomatic, man.
That was not a. That was. That was not a
Yo, man,
diplomatic.
you sound like you was running for president or something. Though. You was being voted. I said,
Nah.
like, you like, I'm being in the middle, and I'm not taking sides on anything. It's got to. You did the balance move on me. Balance.
Nah. I mean, like, listen, I'm a boxing guy through and through. Boxing, I love. That's my sport. I love boxing more than I love MMA, and it's always going to be that way as it always has been. My thing is when it comes to certain people, like I can't specifically speak on their preferences and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but at the same time, when it comes to them having more of a conversation about one thing than the other and having more points of opinion of what needs to be added to that game, I can understand of it being because the game's closer rather than just them just pointing it out of it being like, oh, they prefer MMA. Like, I think that a lot of these dudes, I won't go into names, but I think a lot of them actually like boxing. They love boxing, and they actually enjoy and appreciate the sport, and they want to see a game thrive when it comes to representing the sport correctly. But their problem is right now is there's really nothing to talk about in the boxing game space. So it's hard to realistically give you any kind of this game needs this game needs that, this game needs that, because we've all, you, me, we've all basically said what a boxing game needs to thrive. It's now really up to the developers to make that happen and put it into fruition. Right now, though, when it comes to Undisputed, they had all of us. When it comes to Undisputed, they had all of us, and they did not do right by any of us when it comes to you, me, and the rest of the community. So when it comes to saying a lot of things, it's kind of just like trying to speak things into fruition, but not having any kind of destination for it because you don't see when exactly it's going to happen. Like, you can say all the good things of what something needs to be added into a game to make it succeed, but if it's 2-3 years away, it's like, is this stuff going to be even remembered by then?
Yeah. All right, now check this out. Who you think should be testing a boxing game?
Okay. So
you trying to get political. You guys too quiet. How I'ma frame this? How I'ma say this?
nah.
Who you think, like, who should they choose to test a boxing video game?
Like gameplay testers, not QA testers.
Yeah, gameplay testers.
I think you, I think Beast, regardless of my points of view of Beast, I think Beast, I think me, I think JMMA, I think Darkseid, I think Crooks the Great, I think. Can I name anybody else? How
Yeah.
many names do you? How many
Yeah, but
names do you want?
no, you basically said that's not how I wanted to answer, but that was good. But my thing is, I want boxing fans, more boxing fans, like literally they're boxing fans because they're able to critique and they know certain things. I don't want somebody like guessing. Some people they're guess. Some people they say they boxing fans, but they're not really boxing fans, and you don't really know boxer styles inside and out, or you don't know how to like, yo, I know that's not his style because that don't look like his style, or people like, I think that, once you start saying I think, that's you don't really know the boxer. So my thing is, um it should be people that's boxing fans and people that are gamers.
I
But
I agree with you.
you want
I
more boxing fans than anything. But my thing is, this is where it's going. This is where I'm about to throw a loop in it. Now if it was on the other foot, like if I was like, let's say I was testing UFC, people would get mad at me, and they should. They should get mad at me because I know, a person, they're gonna say, "No, Paul, you supposed to play the game because it's gonna be people like you're playing the game." That's not how you test the game. Because when you're testing a game for the sport, you're testing it to be authentic to that sport. So, what a person like me that's not really a UFC fan doing testing the game? You see my point I'm trying to make?
I do, but I also see it as if I'm going to have people specifically like we'll put boxing in this. If I want people to test the game, I want people who invigorate themselves in the sport, as in they actually make content on it and they're actually going and doing their research. When I put the names out, there's a reasoning as to why specifically those names were put out. It's because they invest and they have invigorated themselves in the sport. Regardless of people's bias or opinions or personal vendettas or whatever, these are the names of people that I see most identify and most invigorate themselves when it comes to talking about the sport of boxing. When it comes to boxers, when it comes to media, when it comes to everything exclusively boxing, these are people that specifically talk about boxing. I want somebody, when it comes to my gameplay testers and my boxing game, I want people who are invigorated in the sport, know about the sport, study the sport, research the sport, make sure that their media outlets are actually resourceful and accurate when it comes to putting out anything, when it comes to news, articles, anything. I
Yeah.
want people on my team of that category. Obviously, when it comes to the gameplay element, you want people who are also going to play the game and are gamers. These are the people that I would want on my team when it comes to Undisputed 2, because you want somebody who doesn't just it's not just the fact that they know about the sport. It's about the fact that they can also give you a gameplay talking about things in a gameplay term
Feedback.
type of way as
Yeah.
well, not just oh, okay, well, I can tell you everything that's needed in order to make a boxing game thrive. I can also talk to you about what's needed in order for the gameplay to run smooth and things like that. What's needed, the resources that are needed, and stuff like that to make the gameplay smooth, thrive, optimize, things like that. Engine, all these things, development and stuff like that. Like, these are people who are knowledgeable in that aspect. And that's why I would want them on as my gameplay tester specifically, which is why I gave names.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Leafy said, I'm going to pull lots of ideas from all of these games for my project low key. Well, he talking about Prize Fighter and I guess he talking about Fight Night games. I think that's what companies should do anyway. You look at what other games did, and then you try to take the best parts out of the game and use it for your own. Makes sense. That's to me, that's a great developer. Like Steel City, they should look at what Victorious Boxers did. What did they do right? Then you look at what Prize Fighter did right. I know not much, but what did Prize Fighter do right? What did that have potential in that? And then you look at what EA did right and the Knockout Kings and what they did right in the Fight Night, and then you take that and you build on that for your game. That's a great developer to me. Yeah, but I appreciate you, man, for coming through. You came in, you helped me stretch the show out to 2 hours because I was on the half an hour mark when you came through. I was like, say this joker's gonna really come out. I was like getting a little. I say, Dad, man, but I thought I was gonna do one of them knockout modes. So I said, let me get off the show.
Well, it's good that we were able to stretch out the conversation.
Yeah. And I said, let me take a little quick nap, and then maybe that depression boy be hitting you, and I was like, Dad, go on. Cause I did a little walking today, take care of some business. Went food shopping and stuff, and then I came back to the house, and then I started feeling depressed. I said, Dad, go on. I was hoping my wife called me or my son would call me. I said, well, they ain't called me. Well, I guess I'm going to set up for the show. And I'll probably just do it for half an hour. Then I'll just lay back down and, then I'll probably do the show again later. I keep saying I'm going to do a show later, and I never end up doing the show later. But, yeah, appreciate you, man. You helped me stretch the show out. That's a W right there. And shout out to the 6 people that stayed here and listened to all of this. And I bet you, like, somewhere down the line, like a month or 2 from now, we're gonna find out the developers that's here that's not saying anything. Yeah, and some of the developers, I know who it is because they tell me they be in here, but I don't know because a lot of them, it's a mixture of developers that come in here. So I don't know who it really is. And, I don't want to say nothing. If I do say something, I'll probably say it in private, but I will not put y'all out there and nobody put their names out there. Because I don't want them to feel like they're being forced to do something that they didn't really intend for the public to know. But that was enough wasted time. I was trying to talk to get to the 2-hour mark. And what I got, I still didn't do it. But yeah, let me give my shout out. Shout out to John Taught Me. Shout out to A Smooth. Shout out to Leafy. Shout out to Beast. Shout out to shout out to the Wishlist Mafia. Shout out to who else I got here? Shout out to Crooks the Great. Appreciate you coming through. It's always a good thing when you come through. True Cell Boxing Pro Gaming. I guess he wanted to talk. He wanted to be on the show, and I was telling him that I was about to leave, and he said he'd talk to me later. I apologize. But True Sim Pro Boxing, appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about this other the cat that was trying to disrespect me. I know y'all beefing, so I want to talk to you. Shout out to Lamont Davis. Salute. Shout out to Alabama. Shout out to JMMA. Shout out to Juice. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Peace. From
Peace.
me, from me and Aaron. Peace to the next show, y'all. Peace. All right, I'll talk to you later.